Guys, what's going on? This is Mo and this is On the Board. Today we're going to be doing something different. I consider myself a part of the manosphere. I'm not going to be doing anything that that has anything to do with me coaching, trying to be one of those men that's trying to tell you what's the best way for getting a woman and dating and how to be an alpha. I don't believe that is what the manosphere represents. When I think of manosphere, I think of male content, regardless of what it is. It can be from art to music, poetry, to even just building a birdhouse. It doesn't matter. What's important is your mental health. What are you thinking about? How do you feel? What bothers you? What has happened in your life that made you go down this line? Are there people that support you in every turn? That's what I want to be for this community. So today, we're going to have a special video, an interview with Lil Wayne, one of the biggest rappers. Really break down maybe the feelings and perspective of what maybe he's been going through. And matter of fact, he's going to say that. But what's more important is that you understand what relatability you have, regardless of your skin color. So we're gonna hop into it. So let's go.
Welcome to Uncomfortable Conversations with Emmanuel Acho. Now I know most of y'all know this series is a dialogue around race, a much needed dialogue. But there are a lot of conversations that also need to be had around mental health. Now Simone Biles and Naomi Osaka, young global superstars, they brought this conversation to the world stage at the most recent Olympic Games. So I'm privileged to be joined by someone who knows all there is to know about being a young, global superstar, 5-time Grammy Award winner. But for the sake of this conversation, just a man who struggled with mental health. Wayne, what's up, bro?
What up, man? How you doing?
All good.
And before we, really get into Wayne talking, I just want to say, because I wanted to cover it at the time, but I was going through my own, not depression or anything else like that, but my mind was all over the place. And what shocked me is how little so many people just didn't understand the mental health aspect of what happened with Simone Biles. Everybody jumped down her throat, attacked her, but did not step back and say, you know what is this young woman? Let's wait to see what she comes out and her reasoning is. Because she had a reason. And instead of people supporting her for those reasons, perhaps regardless if they knew or not, they attacked her. We all got to understand, for those who want to be successful, regardless of what you're doing in life, you have to understand for yourself and others that it takes a lot of work. And you may not feel depression, anxiety, but you do feel pressure. And that pressure is a part of your mental health. So always consider that when somebody else is doing something that you don't agree with. Because I promise you, majority of the time, something else is happening. And just take that time to recognize that. So we're going to go back into it. Let's see what Lil Wayne says.
I just, like you said earlier, about being vulnerable. But to me, I look at it by being brave and stepping up.
When did you check the temperature of yourself? When did you realize, you know what? I might have some mental health issues that I have to work through.
Oh, I realized that at a very young age.
When would you say they started?
And this is common, right? That's watching right now understands how common this is at a young age, regardless, what is going on. Single parent, divorce happens while your child gets sick. Maybe you're not having enough attention at home. This plays a part, and it's very common for adolescents to go through this. You may be watching this right now and being like, yeah, that's me right now. That was me. But you have experienced this. You have experienced lows, like you experienced highs.
Feeling like you when I was told that I couldn't have what I wanted, what I dreamed of, and what I desired, and that was to rap. I was willing to die for it.
So many people, they don't know how to classify it. Mental health can play itself out, as you know better than I, as physical pain. It can play itself out as body aches. The world hasn't properly responded to mental health. So what was the moment that you realized?
For me personally, when I get depressed or have gotten depressed, thank God that it hasn't been frequent. I've always gotten tired, right? Don't feel like eating, don't feel like moving. I I just get tired, man. I mean, it's crazy how tired I would get. Because something about separating myself from this world and going into the world that I want to view feels better. In a lot of cases, it was helpful. But when you become an adult and you start realizing there's so much other responsibilities you have, it can be so daunting to feel that pressure in your soul. And I really get that. And then, you know, I've heard so many stories from different people. I mean, I've lost people because of depression. So it's a really serious matter to me.
Oh no, this is a mental health issue.
Once my thoughts got radical and got, you know, to where you got to stop yourself and stop impulsing and say, what did you just think again? Or even if you cried yourself to sleep with that thought on your mind and wake up the next day and be like, I cannot believe I was thinking like that.
Thoughts like what?
Thoughts like killing yourself.
You saw how he said that? You know, I gotta give so much respect to Lil Wayne. And I'm not even somebody that's a fan of his music like that. Of course, I like, you know, a lot of his songs, but I'm not a fan. And I'll tackle why music to me has always been, like, especially with rap, has it always been this weird thing, relationship with me. But I will tell you, after reviewing this interview, forget the music, forget what people says or the clout. I want to meet Lil Wayne, not as a fan, but as a man. What he gave me was astounding. Relatability is worth way more to me than anything somebody could just possibly put out in terms of music or anything or artistically. Something about honesty is the most beautiful art to me, personally.
But I chose when I was 12 years old, the school year was kind of ending. So what the school was doing was they was giving us half days on a Thursday and a Friday. Yeah, it may have been a Wednesday as well, but what I would do was just tell my mom that I only had a half a day on one of those days. So therefore I stayed out the rest of the whole day, just like it was a full day. She found out. And so when I got home, on that thing, it was that Friday, whatever, I got home, got a phone call from my aunt. It was like, she found out, boy, you about to get your ass kicked. All that rapping and all that, she about to take that rap folder, she about to throw that shit away, she about to, and I was like, wow, so all that had built up to me. So that was a build up. I just listened to.
Like, imagine that. This man loved music so much. Just hearing the idea of somebody taking this thing away from him, this love, sent him down a road mentally and messed him up. I mean, just having an interest like that is a blessing all on its own, right? All on its own, it's a blessing. It really is. A lot of us don't even know what our gifts or desires are at a young age, and he already recognized that. So I can't imagine what he was feeling when he thought that his music was about to be taken away.
Listen to my aunt, like, I she was, you know, she was like, boy, you about to get your ass. When she get home, your mama takes. So she actually said, she was like, she's taking off. Hung up the phone. Thoughts everywhere. You know, thoughts everywhere. Main thought was, I'm gonna show you. Main thought was, I'm gonna show you.
What were you gonna show her?
So I picked up the phone. I called the police. Yes, I knew where she kept her gun. And it was in her bedroom. And so I went in her bedroom, grabbed the gun. I already made the phone call. Looked in the mirror, did like that. Of course, it was like, oh, you know, I got a little too scared. That was my head, like, no. But then I said, fuck it. Biggie was on. I'm looking in the mirror, so you could look through the mirror and the television was behind me. So I thought I was watching the video through the mirror. One More Chance was on. And I think Biggie was already gone or something. So I was just looking and it was like, you know what? Start thinking again, I had to get myself mad and notice that I didn't have to. That's what scared me. How I know I had mental health problems was I pulled the trigger.
You actually pulled the trigger?
Yeah,
He pulled the trigger. I mean, yo, something like that is hard to do. It's hard. If you've been there, you know what I mean. If you haven't, it's hard. It's a numbing feeling that comes along with it. It's this feeling of it gotta end. It's as if somebody told you you have to write and decide on the last few actions on this paper, and you decided, you know what, to end this story, this is how I was gonna end it. It's a difficult place to be in.
Where'd you shoot?
In my chest. Didn't feel a thing from my heart. It didn't feel a thing though, so I wasn't going through any pain. It was a shock. I woke up to doom doom to the police knocking, and I was like, that's what woke me up. Mind you, the walls, the ceilings and the walls were white like this. So when you're arm on my back, when you're looking up, probably my eyes probably were open the whole time. I didn't know. I probably had to click and click. But as a kid, all you remember is you see when you die, you're gonna see the white, and you're gonna have white. I thought that was the white. The last one, I got I did. And so then that's when with that knocking woke me up out of that. The knocking, they kept up, but then they stopped. And once they stopped knocking, I said, okay, they must have left. It took too long.
So I'm gonna end the video right there, and we're gonna talk a little. The link for this video will be in the descriptions. Listen, I really wanted to share this video because, you know, my channel is all about chess, right? And breaking different pieces down, and, you know, and determining if you fall and where you fall, and feeling comfortable where you fall. For example, I'm a pawn at this current moment while on YouTube channel. That doesn't mean I'm a pawn in everything else. It just means that for certain things, right, certain places and times, you fall somewhere, and that's not bad. It's not bad to be a pawn. Pawns just have potential, but you're still on the board. You still matter. You can grow. You decide your responsibilities and where you're going to follow, where you're going to go. You know, who are you going to follow? What are you going to follow? What makes you who you are? And that's the beauty about being a pawn. In other circles, I'm a bishop. In my personal opinion, I prefer to be a bishop. But there's a reason why there's a zebra on my channel as my logo. That's a knight, representing that I'm willing to jump over pieces and roadblocks that society has said I have to follow. And it's really important that when we talk about our health, we consider our minds. Because before you become the piece that you're meant to be, whether you're a king, queen, rook, knight, bishop, or pawn, you got to understand this. You have to be able to follow, take information, humble yourself, trust in yourself, have complete transparency on who you are. But you can't do that if the mind is out of focus. And we'll talk about that more. But as somebody that understands mental health, understands depression, understands the struggle that comes along with it, we as a community, black, white, Spanish, I don't care. We as a community, as men, have the opportunity to evolve further. So let's evolve further. So let's grow. Let's become better than our ancestors and the people and the men in the past. We have it. We created this. So why can't we enjoy it? Let's enjoy it. This is On The Board, guys. It's your boy Mo. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Peace.